Yeah. Where do you think all that really started? I mean, because wrestling used to be really traditional and very strict, and you take care of the boys take care of you. And where did it start taking the downhill fall when ego and money became more important than the show?
Greed, want to other, people that weren't even wrestlers want to be superstars like Dixie Carter. I mean, when you discuss last night, I knew things were really crazy there when I went to pick up some shirts at the warehouse. And I'm looking around because, they had been putting out the new action figure set, and I was looking to see if mine was in yet. And as I'm digging through the pile, I looked over and I saw a Dixie Carter action figure. And that's about the time Dixie was putting her stuff out on TV. Kind of like, the more Vince was on TV, the more she wanted to be on TV, So I think it went from this level of, hey, look at me, I'm a woman and I own my wrestling company, and when she really didn't. Her dad owned the wrestling. Bob Carter owned, and I don't know, I guess she was just using it as a stage for her, you know. I just didn't understand why they were more worried about, putting her over on TV than the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hey, then they started bringing in, no disrespect to anybody, one for guys, but, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, X-Pac, which was great for the show at the time, but then a lot of problems started happening there because our checks weren't coming, but theirs were. And then come to find out through the grapevine that these guys were getting paid enormous amounts of money. You know what I'm saying? That,
Is that what the favored nations was?
I just didn't understand. I was like, how can you justify paying these guys? I was like, no disrespect. I know Xbox is cleaned up now, but back then, I'm walking through the dressing room and I'm seeing some dude sitting, Xbox sitting in a chair convulsing because he's so fucked up on drugs. But yet they're going to pay him $25,000 a night to get out there and work fucked up. They bought Randy Savage, God rest his soul, great man, but he didn't even wrestle while he was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They paid him this enormous amount of money, and then Hulk Hogan comes in and they paid him millions of dollars, and he didn't even wrestle. I just didn't get it. And then what really set it off for me was standing beside Brooke Hogan, backstage, knowing that she's probably making at least a couple of $100,000 more than me.
Good God.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got Eric Bischoff. No disrespect to Eric Bischoff, but he made himself the biggest clown of wrestling. The way he did WCW, he pretty much shut the doors on his own, just by being a money mark for, Ted Turner, and then thinking he owned the damn company. Him and Hogan and all these guys got together, and the only thing they did was milk WCW dry.
Yeah.
Notice that, 80 million, a company that was a couple of $1 billion ahead winds up $80 million in the hole. How do you do that?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Overpaying people.
Wow.
Killing the pocketbook. Yeah, and then it got to the point where it was, Ted Turner might have owned the company, but there's shareholders in their board of directors that have final say so.
Right.
And they have done nothing but that. That's why do you think they just shut it off? No problem. They just cut it off. We'll sell it then. So, then he put himself out there on TV to make himself one of the stars and stuff, and then look what they did. In the end, they got freaking, what was that guy's name? David Arquette.
Oh, God, the biggest insult in wrestling ever.
And then they would bring in basketball stars. Okay, so where did it go that wrestlers were superheroes, and now that a basketball player could just walk on in, or an actor could just walk on in and beat a professional wrestler? What happened there?
A lot of people ask that question.
It killed the business. It killed the kayfabe of the business, which we all held very close to our hearts. many years. I mean, I grew up in this business, you know, kayfabe is close to your heart, you know. Do not ever give our secrets out. And what do? They fucking, as much as what they did, they basically said, this is fake. This is fake, guys. None of this is real. It's all entertainment now.
I can only imagine how disrespected you felt hearing that and seeing that after all the years you put in busting your butt. Did you see Jay Leno giving Hulk Hogan an armbar?
Exactly. Exactly. And then you got Dennis Rodman in there? I mean, come on, guys. But, hey, and look what happened. They ran the company in the hole, and there was probably the worst storylines we've ever seen in the history of wrestling about that time. And no wonder WWE was, you know, just knocking their door down. You know, I mean, well, they had Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, they had all the good stuff going on, you know, the Generation X, all this stuff, compared to David Arquette, winning the World Heavyweight title. You know?
Yeah.
And then on top of it, I mean, there's Bischoff, he gets a job at WWE. What do you think? Vince McMahon is not going to take that chance to embarrass you in front of the world? Oh, maybe kiss his ass right there, and he agreed to do it? I'm sorry. You know what? If there was that big of a competition between us before, and my company lost, then my company lost. That's it. We're done. Okay? I'm not going to go to your company and on national fucking television kiss your bare ass on TV.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's not. I'm not doing it. You know, but hey, I guess money meant more to him than his integrity.
So where do you think, I mean, we've seen that there's been an evolution through so much we're hearing from where you started and the way we're seeing it nowadays. What do you think it's going to take to get it back to that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think that wrestling will ever have that spectacle that it used to have. Only once a year, and that's going to be WrestleMania. Other than that, the people of the world already know. They were told by the promoters themselves, right on national television, that it's not real. But now you have UFC, you got Bellator, you got all these real sports that are out, that they are blowing WWE out of the freaking water. You know what I'm saying? The only big show WWE has is once a year now, and that's WrestleMania. But you look at the pay-per-view draws that WWE has every, you know, whenever they run a pay-per-view compared to whenever UFC has a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a complete 363. I mean, look how much money UFC and all this real combat sports generates now. So I think we've kind of gone back to the gladiator days where we're not going to be happy until we actually see somebody probably get maimed or dead. You know?
Lord knows we've seen some things in ECW that came close to that back in the day.
Oh yeah, I know there was a couple of times I took some very hard bumps from very high places, and I just didn't know if I was going to be able to get the hell up off the floor. You know, and didn't know if I just broke a hip. I mean, whatever. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how wrestling is. When I got into business, I was told that wrestling goes in a cycle. Okay, every 5 to 7 years, when style, music, stuff like that change, so does wrestling. So I did the exact same thing wrestling was done. Whenever the fashion started changing, I changed. Whenever the music changed, I changed. You know, that's just the way it was. And it was smart of me because I stayed relevant, you know, that whole entire time, you know, along with my style of wrestling, you know. But I think it's, you know, it's always going to have that cycle. The problem is right now there's no real competition for people to care enough to really watch constantly like they used to, you know. Now there's just WWE. If you want to watch Ring of Honor here in Nashville, it comes on at like 9 o'clock on Sunday night. You know, TNA, I have no clue how to get the Pop channel. It doesn't even come on, you know, my TV. So I'm not going to go to the cable company and spend another $35 to get a couple of extra channels just to watch that, you know.
And that's what YouTube's for.
I mean, I don't get it. But now TNA has got Jeff back, and I thought he was the owner of Global Force. So what are they going to do? Combine Global Force Wrestling and TNA? Well, that just kind of makes both of them look needy. You know what I'm saying? They need each other to make one company to compete with WWE. Well, now I heard that Scott Demora signed a deal with New Japan Wrestling through Border City Wrestling to, I don't know, I guess to bring in talent for TNA, and you know, in exchange. You know, which is going to be great, good for the company, but how is it going to benefit them here?
Right.
Because nobody here watches Japanese wrestling, except for the really underground smart bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and nobody, if you think about it, who really truly knows about the Bullet Club? Honestly.
Yeah.
Not really that many people that watch WWE don't know about the Bullet Club. That's a big thing over in Japan, and they tried to bring it here, but nobody knows what it is. So now they have to change the name around a little bit, and then they're going to, you know, give it to WWE to run, but it's going to be under a different type of banner, you know.
It just won't be authentic.
It's not going to be the Bullet Club, you know.
Right.
So, you know, then I go to these indies and stuff like that, you know, to just, you know, hang out sometime, and I see these young wrestler boys, you know, what's that one? God almighty. Seaso. There's a kid that goes to Japan from time to time, and I think they use him here and there in the Bullet Club or whatever. So this kid comes back. He doesn't even have a contract with the company. They just fly him over here and there, okay, to throw him in, mix. They don't have a steady contract there, but when he comes back up, he's a Bullet Club member, you know what I'm saying? He's got his Bullet Club tights on, he's got a whole entire box of Bullet Club t-shirts, headbands, and all this other stuff. But he's out there wrestling, and not a damn person knows who the Bullet Club is. At a crowd of about 200 people, you're going to have about 10 who probably know really what the Bullet Club is.
Yeah. Yeah, only the diehard fans really know. The hardcore fans really know. But this new age fans are never going to know what it's like to be a true wrestling fan.
Right, but there's more casual fans than there are diehard fans.
Right.
Think about it. Look how many people are in the world, you know, that really watch wrestling. Not every damn one of them can possibly know everything there is to know about the wrestling business, unless you're a smart mark who stays on the internet, fishes YouTube, and all this other stuff. Most other people have lives. You know, we go to work every day, get kids raised, you know, food to bring into the house. If we have the opportunity, we'll watch Monday Night Raw. If we don't, then we'll just catch it next week. You know?
Yeah.
If they come to town, hey, it's a great way to, you know, take the family out. You know?
Yeah.
Kids love wrestling. Take it, let's go, hey, check it out. And when they get there, they have no clue what the Bullet Club is. You know?
Yeah, I completely understand.
And that's why I've been helping out another, you know, I help out Danny Pereira, that you and I talked about. I've been taking her under my wing and helping her out because I just truly believe that in this day and time, I mean, you don't have to have the big boots and you know, the tight firm ass, you know, fitness-looking body to make it. You know, she's very talented. She's young, and her mind is ready to absorb, you know, that education that somebody like myself can give. You know, so she's been doing so much better. Then there's Kyle Hawk, and I don't know if you've heard of the Arrow Club.
Okay.
The Arrow Club, they're out of Texas, Oklahoma. Great group of guys, great tag team. I've been helping them out. I've been watching, you know, they send me their matches, and I watch it, and I critique them and stuff like that. You know, those are the guys that I have interest in because they're original. You know, they were the Arrow Club before there was a Bullet Club. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're true Indians. They actually literally live on the reservations. They live the traditional Indian life. I asked them one day, and I was like, hey, you know, you guys are Indians. Why can't you not like the dog or wearing out, you know, headdresses? Oh, no, man. We're not chiefs. Only chiefs can wear, no. We're traditional. We're not Tatonka. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're traditional. We actually live on our reservations. And we are part of our community. You know, we just wrestle because we love wrestling and we want to be a part of it. You know, and you know, we want to make it big one day so we can be there for our reservation. And I thought that was just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Young kids of today are so not into tradition. You know, you get all these new young wrestlers that I meet and everything like that. They do not want to hear about traditions. They want to hear about how they can get over and how many spots they can do, how many high mile spots they can do. And the only thing they want to hear is how great they are and shit. When I met these guys, I was blown away that these guys are worried more about their tradition than they are really making it that big of a business. So I was like, so you don't, you can't even wear a headdress to a ring? Oh no, you just don't do that. We're not. You don't wear a headdress unless you're a chief. You know, and I was just like, man, I like that. You guys are real. And that's what I like. I like people who are real. And if you know anything or heard anything about me, I'm that guy that's always been a straight shooter. I never bullshit anybody, and I say it straight up the way it is. I'm a real person. My daddy would roll over in his grave, come back as a ghost and beat the shit out of me if I didn't show respect, didn't show tradition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, it's just, it just blows me away at today's time. So when I find guys like that, I have nothing but open arms. I don't have any problem with helping. And so, like I said, they send me their matches. Kyle does. They have a female wrestler. She's Indian too, and straight up, I mean, she's amazing, just like they are. They make an amazing team. You know, they're straight up. You know, and it's just a great little mix. And I'm gonna do everything I can to help get them out there. You know.
And I think that's what everybody's waiting for is things like that to happen. And you know, we've highly exceeded the airtime we have tonight. But who cares at this point? I'm gonna break every wall that I can. For the most part, though, I mean, everything you've given and done and you've told us today is what makes wrestling great. It's what made it great then. It's what can still make wrestling great now. So, on behalf of myself and diehard fans around the world, and maybe a couple casual fans who are waking up, you know, sincerely thank you. Thank you for what you've done for this business. It's been a godsend to many.
Well, it's like I try to tell, you know, the kids that I do work out with and that help. Listen, quit worrying about the moves. Okay? That's not going to get you a job. Anybody can do those moves, man. I could teach a 10-year-old to do every single move that I ever did in the business. They could do it perfectly. Okay, but that's not going to get him a job. What's going to get him a job is stuff that nobody will help you with anymore. Selling, character. I go to the indie shows and I see so many guys with no character. They don't even know what their character is. They just have an outfit that they bought. That's it. It looks good. Hey, let's wear it. Okay, well, you got a nice looking outfit here, buddy. What is your character? Can you describe your character to me in 2 sentences or less? And none of them can. None of them can.
Yeah.
And that's a requirement. I mean, if you're going to go big time, that company is not going to give you a contract if you don't know who the hell your character is. Your character has to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, look a certain way, wrestle a certain way. Completely different from everybody else on that roster.
Yeah.
Now, how many times do you go to an indie show and watch 3 or 4 matches that were exactly the same?
Plenty of times.
Even down to the way the guys worked, wrestled, and looked. What about these kids that walk out here with blue jeans on, boots, stuff like that, don't even give a damn about, you know, having a nice looking outfit? One thing, you know what? This came from Ric Flair years ago. He looked at me and said, kid, if you look like a star, you're going to be a star. Why do you think he wore all those flashy robes? Why do you think he wore the suits? Because he was Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, and that was the image of the Nature Boy. He walked a certain way, talked a certain way, dressed a certain way, he wrestled a certain way. That set him apart from everybody. Kid Cash wrestled a certain way, looked a certain way, talked a certain way. I even had my own little strut that I had to the ring that nobody else did. You know?
Yeah.
I had my own style of selling. I had my own style of high flying. I would take a high flying move that I've already seen, and I would completely revamp that whole entire move. Still the same concept, but I would turn it into something else, you know, to make it my own.
Right.
And nobody does that anymore. I sit there and watch people do my moves. I seen a guy one night do my moneymaker, you know, and then called it something else. And then I turned on Ring of Honor one night, and one of the Briscoe boys is doing my moneymaker pile guy, you know, calling it the Briscoe something or another, or whatever, you know. And I'm like, okay, I mean, hey, it's cool. You must have liked it enough that you stole it from me.
Right.
You know, so you know, it was a badass move. If you ever watch it, it's you know, it's devastating, you know.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Then I watch these kids on the indies, and they're trying to do the exact same thing, but they don't know any concept of storytelling. They don't know how to put a match together. I was at a show a couple weeks ago, and I watched 4 matches back to back, and every single one of those matches had a power bomb in it, 3 or 4 suplexes in it, 2 or 3 the same planches over the rope, and I think they even had a couple of the same stretch holds, you know, that, you know, some of the guys use. Not one person got with the other guys and said, hey, what are you doing in your match? Which is a very big thing. So in the WWE, WCW, ECW, the guy before you, that's wrestling before you, it was your responsibility to get with that team and be like, hey, what are you guys doing before we go out there? So that way we know not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
There was respect for each other.
Well, of course. But there's no respect at all in the wrestling business anymore. None. I have yet to see it. Other than when I walk in the dressing room, you know, the guys walking, oh my God, Kid Cash, how you doing? But, oh my God, I watched you as a kid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, cool. Then you should know that, you know, what I preach is to be different. And not a damn one of you are being different. You know?
Yeah.
I see little kids that are, what do you call it, you know, Japanese strong style. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
How many people here in America do you really think knows what strong style is?
Not many.
Not many at all. Okay? But you got these little guys, and what kills me is these really skinny, small kids, or these kind of really out of shape, punchy kind of kids that don't even go to the freaking gym, don't even attempt to make themselves look TV worthy or an athletic worthy, but they go out there and just have no concept of what the fuck they're doing, you know. And I don't know, man. I sit back and I watch and I try to tell them, but after a while, you just get tired, you know. And I'm like, how can you be what, a buck 50, 150 pounds? And you're wrestling a guy that's probably 20 more pounds more than you, and he's punching you and you're not selling it. You're acting like you're absorbing it and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, no, that's strong style. I was like, what you better be doing is taking your lucky stars if you're not wrestling somebody like myself, or Rob Van Dam, or Sabu, or anybody that I came up in the business with, because if you pull that shit with us, we're going to make, don't sell for me 1 pound. See what happens. Suck it up, you know, being 20 pounds less than me. You think that I'm going to bump for you? No. I'm not bumping for you. And if I hit you and you fucking stand there with that face like you're absorbing it, brother, you better expect an MMA-style Superman punch right square to the face.
That's right.
And I've actually done it. I mean, I've actually been wrestling with some kids. We get ready to go home, and I start fucking laying in the chops and shit. We son of a bitches instead of selling there going, ah, like they're absorbing it. And I just look at them like, oh, really? Ha, 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 ha. Okay, cool. I can start pounding the living piss out of them and beat their ass.
That's how you learned.
Beat the shit out of them and send them on their damn way. And when they get to the dressing room, they're sitting there crying, wondering what the hell's just happened. Well, first of all, you just disrespected the piss out of me, and I'm not going to have it. You know, I put too much into this. I've lived this business for too damn long. I've traveled the roads too far across the world. I've been on top. I've had major fucking titles. I will not have a nobody kid trying to come up in the business no-selling me. I'm not doing it because guess what, kid? There ain't a damn person in this room here that knows what strong style is.
That's right. Well, fans, I really hope you enjoyed this time because we've gotten a treat and a well appreciated exclusive of Mr. Kid Kash today. And again, kid, we just want to thank you so much for coming on the show and just sharing your thoughts and opinions. And again, just thank you for everything you've ever done for pro wrestling, man. It's magic, it's special, it's all those things that we love. And from the bottom of our hearts and people around the world, thank you so much for that.
Hey, man, don't thank me, man. I have to thank you guys. I mean, if it wasn't for the fans, then who would Kid Kash ever been? You know?
Real talk right there.
You know, so I mean, don't ever thank me. And any fan that's ever been to the show, don't come and thank me. You know?
Yeah, well, we believe that people who bust their ass and put themselves what they do for the sake of entertainment, for things that we've loved for so long throughout most of our lives, it's only right you get that respect and that admiration and that sincere thank you.
What trips me when I tell you this, and this is through the minds of every wrestler in the world that's ever made it, if you're thanking me, you're thanking me for living an amazing life. You know, I lived 25 years on what I wanted to do. You know, I lived my dream. I traveled the entire world. I was able to go to 52 countries in my lifetime. I was able to hold major titles. How can you even think of thanking me? I should thank you, man. You know, because if it wasn't for y'all, I would have never, ever been able to live that type of lifestyle. So, thank you.
Well, fans, you heard it right here from Kid Kash. This is the guy you want to be listening to and guys like him. So in the meantime, fans, we got to get going. But, kid, thanks again for stopping on the show.
No worries, man. I appreciate it. I thank you so much.
Not a problem. Until then, fans, I'm Mike Stover, and we're out.